Welcome, welcome back, guys. Glad to see that you're here for episode 2. And as you can see on the chef's menu, what we're going to be talking about today, and
what we're going to be eating today.
Oh yeah,
today we got Hunin, one of them, on 161. Again, clearly, that's in the neighborhood. So
yeah, it's easy to get to for us.
Yeah. So, should we start off with our appetizers?
Yeah, so as you may know or not know, our appetizer is basically quotes or any short phrases that basically spoke to us this week. And for mine, coming straight from Suicide Squad 2, you guys should go check it out, was from a scene, an intense scene whereby the dying man basically last word were peacemaker, what a joke. And I feel like that was a great representation for a lot of people that talk about peace and represent peace, but don't really do it the peaceful way, aka the American government. How they basically try to calm down protests or like marches, and on the media they try to kind of like describe it as this calm way and how they're these peacemaker of this great country, but they're not. And yeah, I think this reference would be better if you guys check out the movie. So yeah, go ahead and do that and you'll see what I'm talking about.
It's definitely a wild ride, so prepare yourself. It's also pretty funny.
It was the screening. We both went to the screening of Suicide Squad 2. So that's where I got it from, so she knows what I'm talking about.
You know the vibe. Okay, so for my appetizer, my quote is, "Every dead body on Mount Everest was once a very determined individual. So maybe calm down a little bit." And that spoke to me because, calm down. It was like, life is not that deep. It's not that serious. It was on a board, like a restaurant or something. They put it on a board or something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so like, it's not that deep. Just relax. It kind of ties back into my last week's quote about how my life's mission is to relax.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think that a lot of people have been relaxing, especially like since what's been going on with the pandemic. Mm-hmm. I think like, especially like employers and people knowing your worth.
Drop you.
Yeah, people knowing your worth. Yeah. So anyways, jumping into our scoop, going back into Suicide Squad, just because I think that's probably the most I've done this week, just leaving my house and going to watch that. I think the reason why this also connects, because this week I've also been watching what's WandaVision on Disney. So I've kind of been back into my superhero type, like binge watching shows. So I think that's why I'm back into that. I think y'all should check it out. Would you say it's as good as the first one?
What?
Suicide Squad 2?
Honestly, don't really remember. Oh, I know. I think it is better than the first one, because the first one, the plot was kind of like shaky. It was like they caused the problem that they had to solve. Mm-hmm. So it's like it didn't really like. I mean, it was funny. The acting was really good, but like the storyline was like, it wasn't going anywhere.
I think this one stands by itself. Like, I kind of came in late, but I think like I still got to understand. Like, you don't really need to watch.
Yeah, you don't need to watch the first one
to get it. But I mean, it helps out a little bit. So that's my scoop. Amma.
So my scoop was just continuation of the whole Rolling Loud situation with the baby and the homophobic rant he went on.
He is getting it.
Like, all these festivals are dropping him and stuff. T.I., like, you have enough to worry about, but he came out and spoke in support of him or whatever. And Boosie also kind of came out and spoke in support of him, but instead he kind of threw Lil Nas under the bus, talking about like, if he can be himself and kiss people on stage and whatnot, like, no one should, like, he said some homophobic slurs.
That's not new coming from Boosie.
Yeah. But he's just really like, he's super like against gay people in a way that's like
unnecessary.
Yeah. But it's like, it's almost seeming like personal. Like, that's why a lot of people think he's like DL, because he's a little too invested in the gay community and what they do.
See, one thing I've said about Boosie is like, I never really pay attention to him. Like, I remember when he was coming out of jail, I was like a big fan, because like I feel like he kind of had that like Bobby Shmurda kind of effect on people before he went to jail for like I think also 7 years. So there's like nice correlation. But one thing I've always said about Boosie is like I don't really care what Boosie says, is the fact that he still has supporters. That's like what makes it scary. Do you know what I mean? Because like he's like clocking 50 or 40. He should not be this relevant, but he's relevant because people either support his ideology, which is the scary part. Like, you know, because those are regular people. Boosie's not going to come to your house, I feel like, and do anything like homophobic or harm to you.
Especially after he hired like strippers or sex workers or something for his son. Yeah. His like 13-year-old son. That's when I thought people would cut him off, but like people do not care.
People do not care.
Cancel culture is not real.
The last big success was Daniel, whatever. Was it Caesar?
Yeah.
That was their last.
They really canceled. He was like, "You are new. Like, you shouldn't be that controversial when you're like straight out the gate." But like, he was like, "Cancel me. I don't care." We were like, "Okay."
But I wonder why it was just him though.
I don't know why it worked so well on him.
They did that with Sabrina too.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because they were like truly like up and coming. Because I know they've been trying to do that with the girl from Fifth Harmony, Camila.
Yeah.
But it's like not working.
Maybe it's because their sounds are so easily replaceable.
Daniel, yeah, because we were going through that phase of like Black Boy Joy.
Yeah.
What was that? But
yeah. But yeah, I just think, and I guess the baby apologized. He says like, sorry for.
But do you feel like it's too late? Do you think there's a time limit to apologies?
I think it would have been a little better if he didn't already come out on video trying to explain himself on IG when he was trying to explain himself. Like, you doubled down on it and then you wrote a statement. Then it makes it seem like your PR person either forced you or wrote it for you.
Oh, he realized that he was losing money.
Yeah, and then once the opportunities start going away and then you apologize, it kind of is like...
Yeah, I'm not part of like the LGBTQA plus community. So I don't know if I would say whether it's too late or not. I don't think it affects me. But like I wonder, like, would you guys say there's like a time limit on an apology? Like in general though, like if I did something to you, I think there is, depending on the situation. But it's never too late. But it's like
also how genuine you are.
I don't think he's genuine. Yeah. I think he's losing money. He's
losing opportunities.
Yeah. Anyway, so jumping into our scoop. Going back to basically the continuation of last week with the Olympics, it's getting intense, especially all sports are now going to either the finale or semi-finale to get the gold, silver, or bronze. And I think this week one of the major players that ended up with a bronze, not sure the exact event, is Simone Biles. And I think this week she really put a stomp on mental health, and especially being Black and being an athlete and like feeling this pressure. I've never been to Olympics. I'm not an Olympic star. I look like it, but I'm not. But like I'm trying to put myself in her shoes and seeing how it is, and I don't think I can ever amount to that just because I don't know. I don't even know how she be feeling. But I know like when that happened, a lot of things I saw on Twitter was like Black people saying like she doesn't owe Black people anything. Or like I don't know if they're talking about Black people in general, but like she didn't owe the world anything. So she's already the greatest at what she does. Whatever. And I don't know. Do you feel like...
Did you see the interview today? Like she was saying some people reached out to her, like Naomi Osaka and Mike Phelps and Oprah and stuff.
Oprah did?
Like I feel like a lot of celebrities, especially in the time of, was it Michael Jordan? He was like, if he was around during like social media, he would not have like made it because like his mental health. People be going in on these athletes like I don't know if it's that they have the attitude that they're rich and they might not see it, but like people are on the internet. They can it'll eventually reach back to them. And if people are saying you suck and go back to whatever, like that's gonna like start affecting you.
I feel like it depends on the sports though. Do you feel like Simone got that? I don't know if there's gymnastics. I feel like it's different.
I think it was just pressure.
I feel like it's pressure more so than like I think what LeBron goes through. Either way, mental health
and frustration. Because like they're judging her, they're like, oh, you can't do these things because she's like the only one that can do like these certain moves. So they're like, not going to judge her fairly. And I at a point, it just gets frustrating. Like, you've trained so hard to be the best, and they're still not going to judge you fairly. And then, like, then it just, like, it's like, what's the point anymore? I think that's the point she got to.
That's good. Well, I'm just glad that they're putting mental health. But another thing, okay, so mental health is literally my baby. I work in that department. That's all I've written my papers on. So, like, I don't want to say I'm a professional. I'm obviously not, but I'm very well informed. And now, like, I feel like the conversation of mental health is being put out there. I'm starting to see it, like, form under capitalism, where it's like being marketed. Like, I saw this Nike commercial, and like the whole message was like, we will talk about mental health tomorrow. I don't know if you saw it. I watched the Olympics. I've been watching it, so I see like all these like athletic commercial, and I was just
I saw something like that.
I was like, what is Nike talking about? Like, I think the message,
on everything.
yeah, I think the message is like, you know, Nike has your back, but I don't think like they're really grasping the idea of mental health, because like I feel like with me and what I've studied, people think mental health or like symptoms of it is this thing, like this structure, this, do you know what I mean? Oh, they're depressed, they're this, they're that, da da da. But it's not like that. Mental health and its symptoms varies. So I feel like you really cannot commercialize on it, because then
it's a hot topic right now. But like, you gotta put your money where your mouth is. If Nike really cares about mental health, let's see what your employees are feeling like the lower level people. Are they struggling? But you're just putting money for this commercial so people can make it seem like you're with the athletes. But let's actually look at the whole company. Are you actually about mental health? And
we want to see athletes that are not on those big platforms, especially like high schoolers and middle schoolers. Go as low as you can. If you call yourself a big brand and you are trying to support this movement. Yeah. Anyways, continuing on the Olympics on my side. I don't know, like I said, I've been watching. I don't know if you guys saw this moment with the high jumpers, whereby I think one was from Italy and one was from Kuwait, and they both qualified for gold. That was like a moment, like I don't know, their joy in their face was just like it was a moment. It was like, I think, like very honest. I just loved how honest it was, and like I feel like that's what the Olympics is about. Like it was just like a good moment, and like gold. And today's topic's on Twitter, so I'm gonna quote Twitter a lot. And I went down and I was looking at the comments, and like all these like non-athletic, opinionated people were talking about how they should have shared silver. And like this, if you have read anything or even watched, you understand that they tied for gold. They didn't tie for silver. They tied for silver. They were giving them silver. It was all this.
It'd be the least qualified people that have the most to say.
Like, I was just sitting there like, what are y'all even saying? But like, that was like one of my favorite moments from the Olympics, and topping it with, well, nothing tops that, but like followed up by the diver Tom Daley. I love him. I've honestly like loved him since like, I think the last Olympic was in Rio. But I think I first noticed him in London, and like that he is the one that got me watching diving. Like, he's really like, to me, I mean, I'm not that old, and I've just been watching.
LGBT?
Yeah, he's married. And I think what made me want to talk about him today, because he was pictured knitting. Did you see that?
Cute.
Knitting at one of the games. It was like a diving game, and I thought that was so cute, and that was so British. I don't know. He is British. I was just like, who randomly knits outside their house? I feel like that's something you do at home though, but he was doing it at the game, and I thought that was cute. So yeah, I'm a big fan of his. So whatever. What about yours?
My last thing I wanted to talk about is Lil Uzi buying a planet. Did you see that tweet from Grimes saying he's like in the process of buying a planet?
The way Grimes has disappointed me, I think that's a different topic. Like, I don't want to dedicate an episode to her, but I might dedicate something to her, because she's like, she was supposed to be like this embodiment of like anti-freedom, liberation, and then whatever happened.
Elon Musk and.
I mean, I don't know in depth of whatever they got going on, but I feel like for her to tweet that, she like talking about music and talking about, I know saying that her husband or boyfriend doesn't sponsor her music, and contrary to what the popular people might believe or whatever. Like, girl, why are you with him? Like, I don't get
what's the appeal?
Like, she's trying to, like, basically make it sound like she's still a struggling artist, and it's like nobody's gonna buy that because, like, you're in a better position. Not to say,
even if it's not monetarily, like the connects.
Yeah, the connects. Just open your mouth for something. Like, you know what I mean? Just do that. And Grimes, I don't know. I don't know. These celebrities, especially, like, I feel like white people this week, they've been
disappointing.
Yeah, and their kids. We'll talk about that next week. And not next week, whenever. Limitation on showers.
Oh my gosh. Let's not even.
We're eating, so.
You know, some people be telling, like, they like the summer because when their kids go swimming, they consider that a shower. Yes.
Jail. Personally, I tweeted that. I feel like a certain X amount of days where you don't shower, excluding certain situations, obviously, you know the situations, you should go to jail. I feel like it, no, because, like, if you cannot take a shower out of free will, then you don't deserve free will. Like, I just don't. Yeah, that's my opinion. But anyways,
Uzi buying a planet thing. Like, who are you paying? Imagine somebody on another planet saying they bought Earth. Like, who? How are you? You can't have ownership.
But what's the planet though? Because we're still, like, in between Pluto. One day I wake up, Pluto's a planet. One day Pluto's not. So what planet?
I forgot what it's called, but it's some planet. I think it's bigger.
Is it real?
Yeah.
So it's part of our Milky Way?
Yeah. I feel so.
I don't know.
Just random.
I can't even be mad or, like, care about it because I don't know if it's real. Because has NASA said anything?
I don't know who's in charge, like, who owns it to, like, give it away. Like,
yeah, like, and he can never go there. Like, I don't think you can go past Jupiter.
I think it's kind of like the concept of naming a star after.
Oh yeah. That's robbery. That is literally. But I do want that type of robbery though. I feel like if somebody did that to me, it would be nice. Yeah, it's cute. It wouldn't make sense, but I'll accept it. Lastly, on my scoop, to end it with the Puerto Rican princess, Jocelyn. Jocelyn has had us at our heels this week. Or, like, she's been on us. She had her heels on our necks this week, especially. I don't know if the reunion happened this week or maybe just the commercial, and then the music. The music is what's there. Have you heard of it? It's your birthday.
Oh, I heard that one. I think they be doing it on TikTok.
Do you guys want to hear it on the radio? Would you hear it? You don't want to?
No, I'm good.
One thing about Jocelyn, I would say what I like about Jocelyn before we go into her weirdo behavior is she don't give up. I like that. Because if I was her, I probably would have been gave up.
Yeah.
I would have been stopped. Because I feel like now that she's, like, hitting the age where she was, like, coming for Mimi, it's kind of, like, getting awkward. I feel like when girls be coming for people's age, they forget that they're going to age too. Because now she's, like, getting corny. Like, you could tell, like, she's either clocking 40 or whatever. She says she's 10 decades. She's been in it for 10 decades. So I'm not sure how old she is. So whatever age she's clocking, it's like now she's getting, like, corny or whatever. But I love her spirit. She got body. Do you know what I mean? Everything she does, I think, brings her check, whether it's bad or good news. But with this new show and the bullying, I'm not gonna say I'm not a fan of the show, but I'm not a fan of the bullying and, like, the belittling of black women. Like, I don't care what they're for. Are they there for, like, to be music video girls?
I thought it was like
oh, they're gonna be strippers.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't have Zeus. Or Zion,
it's like
whatever it's called.
Cabaret or something. I don't know if they're auditioning to be in her strip club. I don't know what it is.
I don't know what this show is about. But I think based off Twitter, again, what I see most of the time is just belittling. I don't even know if they get money. I don't know if they get actual help or just, like, disposition in a music video or in a strip club. But one thing that I don't like so far is the bullying, the aggressiveness, and I've never actually seen two, like, contestants going at each other. It's always Jocelyn and, like, a contestant or whatever they are, like a girl or whatever they are, and I don't like that. It's very, like, it's very hard to watch. Like, it's borderline cringe, borderline, like, like I said, she kind of getting old. I feel like these girls could knock her out, like easily knock her out. You know, she's like really all done up. So like a one punch might send her back on the table. So like, I don't know. I don't like her bullying, but like I said, one thing about Jocelyn, she don't give up. You might be hearing her song more and more. I don't know if people are taking it seriously.
I don't think so.
I know she's
but she probably thinks
she's taking it seriously. She's taking it real serious, and yeah, gotta give her props to that. But yeah,
you want to go right into the main course
of Twitter talks and how people with Twitter accounts talk. Yeah, so jumping in, I think with me and going back to Twitter and Simone and generalization and my baby mental health, one thing Twitter users do that I don't like is use words like bipolar, depression, or like psycho. Like maybe psycho is not that bad, whatever, but like using like medical phrases, not to say like those that self-diagnose are not valid, but like some people just use it in the moment, and I feel like that builds on the stigmatism that we are basically trying to debunk in this, like
it makes it like not as serious.
Like you not knowing what to eat don't make you bipolar. That just makes you undecisive or not serious and not hungry. You don't have to say the word bipolar. Like there's so much other words you can use, and I feel like when people use that word, like I literally cringe. Like I cringe. And like some people also say stuff like if something's bad or crazy, like mental illness.
Yeah.
That shit is annoying to me. Like if you're my friend and you see this, I don't care. It's annoying. Like when y'all say that, it's cringe, it's strange. Like you could say everything else. You could say it's crazy. You could say whatever. Because mental illness, if you look it up and look at all what's underneath it, it's like goes from A to Z. What are you talking about when you say that? Like, what are you talking about? And then another thing I feel like I want people to know is like, it's okay to have moments. Like you can have a depressive moment. Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean you have depression. Yeah. Like, not everybody's gonna be happy 24/7. Like when we talk about these cases of mental illness, we're talking about the extreme. We're not talking about
hospitalization,
like
crippling.
Like, yes, we're not talking about in the moment you sad. You did, or they'll be like, oh, if they don't get enough retweet or something. Like, no, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about
where education comes in. For
yeah. Me. So, like, where do you think the downfall is? Because, like, now I like the fact that people are talking about mental illness, but I feel like we're deriving into like this world of like this other world of like stigmatization where it's like everything is mental illness. But then I feel like if we get there, then mental illness is like diluted.
Yeah, for the people who actually like wish they didn't have it and like you're claiming it. I think the new mental illness of the week, whatever, like, you know, people used to obsess over anxiety. That was the cute one. Or depression. That was the cute one. Now it's ADHD. Now everybody has this ADHD. And it, like, a lot of these mental illnesses are hard to diagnose, but I feel like it's not something that should be, like, relatable. Like, you can't, and, like, I know. What was I saying?
ADHD.
Yeah, ADHD is really hard to diagnose. But, like, I was saying, back in the day, everybody was saying everything is OCD. Like, they'd be like, oh, that thing's not straight. My OCD is acting up. Like, people with OCD, like, they can't function well if like they don't do their little like tics or their routines. Routines and stuff. Like, OCD is not something you want to have and should be taken lightly. Like, it really like gets in the way of their day. This stupid fly. But yeah, I feel like we should just get more educated on these topics, because just throwing words around, especially if you're one of the people affected by these mental illnesses and you see people like using it lightly or joking around with it, it kind of makes you feel like
invalid.
Yeah, like it makes you feel like a joke. Like,
I feel like for me, working in that department, truly when people say words like I blink out, like I don't know what you're talking about, because I just feel like I've seen people and patients with bipolar, depression, ADHD, OCD that, and I'm having a conversation with you and it's like not relative to that kind of storyline. I don't know what I just blink out. Like I said, when my friends say mental illness, I don't know what they're talking. Like I get what you're trying to say, but like in my head, I'm just like, what are you talking about? It just does not make sense. But yeah, but you know, if you have a Twitter account, you can pretty much say anything and just do anything. If you get the likes, I think the likes is what make people valid.
Yeah,
non-valid too.
There was this one tweet was talking about like, I don't know if I have ADHD or if y'all are making it seem too relatable.
That's what they said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, the way people describe it,
mm-hmm.
some things may be something else. Like, there's this, I think it was a TikTok video. It was like, you may think you have depression, but maybe you're just, like, dehydrated.
Yeah.
Like, when you don't have enough water, you feel groggy, you feel tired, you feel unmotivated.
Or lack of vitamin C. Like,
yeah,
a
lot of vitamins. Yeah.
That's way different than, like, depression, like, and like schizo and all of that. Like, that's a whole different thing. So like, hopefully if y'all feel like y'all might have any of this, take care of yourself, go see a professional.
I think it's harder to reach out if everything's taken as a joke.
Yeah, it's harder to, especially when you can like if it's too relatable. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like we live, like, the way people talk about it seems like symptoms are just like straight, or like just like I'm sad, I'm depressed. No, sadness is not always a symptom of depression. Like, it's really not, especially I think within Black people. Like, one thing I studied my last semester is that basically the symptoms that are Googleable and that most people talk about really don't apply to the general population, because it's like, I feel like the way I might express my depression is going to be way different from somebody expressing the depression maybe in Australia or whatever. But like, because of Google, we're all going to get the same symptoms. So like, yo, just because you sad doesn't mean you depressed, or just because like you don't want to wake up and do blah blah blah. Like, I don't want to like invalidate anybody, but I feel like a lot of y'all is just lacking water, because it's just, the water police on Twitter need to go around and give people water or something. So.
That's why I feel like it's important to talk to a professional, because they can really like sort out if you're like, maybe you're missing vitamins or whatever, if this is an actual serious problem that we need to like treat and medicate and stuff like that.
And yeah, seek a professional. But sometimes the professional y'all seek, I'm pretty sure they work for Pinterest, or they got their
Twitter therapists.
They got their diploma or whatever from Pinterest, because sometimes when
not your therapist saying live, laugh, love.
Because sometimes when you guys tweet or quote what your therapist say, I'm like,
your therapist would never. Have you ever seen a real therapist? Because they do not be like digging in your business.
Yeah.
Like that. They give like generalized. They want you to fix the problem.
Yeah, they want you to fix the problem.
They want you to keep talking until you arrive to a solution. They don't be saying like giving you antidotes of like metaphors and poems and stuff that you can tweet.
Like, I mean, I'm just like, okay, like, yo, what's the point of going to med school then? Like, literally, let me just hop on Pinterest and give these people a random quote.
That's what it's giving.
Because, like, I don't want to, like, take away from y'all's therapists if they are real and they just say random stuff like that. But a lot of you guys say strange things or quote strange things.
It's given Tumblr.
It's given definitely a troll.
Yeah.
A troll account on Twitter. That's what it's given. Yeah, like
parody accounts.
Parody accounts, those random
generalized little
like today someone said vaccinated with mask ICU, non-vaccinated no mask ICU, like department in the hospital ICU.
As in, like, the first one is ICU.
Like, yeah, I see you. But then the second one is like,
my therapist said.
my therapist said ICU. Like, no, give it a
Not
pause.
Everything your therapist said. Like, people are. A lot of people can't afford these things, so they're maybe looking at your stuff thinking, like, it's real, like, advice.
And if it's real advice where your therapist is telling you to live, love, happy, pray, keep it to you. Keep it to yourself. It's for you. You pay for that. It's for you. I love that y'all like to share. Like, especially again, my last semester, you know what I did? I basically recorded a data how many times people use the word therapist, because I thought that was like during especially the high point of Corona, there was a high rise of like people are going to see like professionals and stuff. So I wanted to write about that. So I mean, I'm happy to see y'all are going to go see a professional, but some of y'all's professionals.
I think it's just the individual trying to be deep and then attribute it to a fake therapist.
Yeah, like maybe they heard something different.
Yeah.
Like because like I said, I work in like our therapists that come into the patient room, they just like okay, like you know what I mean.
And that's why therapy is not for everybody.
Yeah, it's really not, but. At least still seek a professional if you still want to and just kind of work your way through it and figure it out for yourself. So, yeah. And then another thing, trauma. I feel like a lot of people have been like opening up about experiencing trauma and like basically trying to like make the connection to how they are, to what they are, like how they are now to their trauma. Do you feel like trauma will ever be an excuse?
Yeah.
To be like
it's like always that's
a shitty person? Would you excuse it though?
No. I mean
like one time, okay, so I saw this tweet off quote. I don't know who they are. If you find it, I didn't say it. But this girl I think was on a date or something and they were talking about parents, and then I think the girl was like, "Where's your mom?" And the guy goes, "She's dead." And then she goes, "Oh, it's okay because my mom's like a crackhead." So it's so would you excuse that they were trying to like basically be relatable but take away from like your moment? Like, do you know what I mean?
Some people, they're
I'm
when
a
they're nervous,
person.
they just like
I would have said that.
Yeah.
If I did have a crack, I would have said it.
Yeah.
I would have said it because like
We're both sad.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, would you excuse it?
Yeah.
I don't know if I can excuse it though.
In that situation, yeah.
In any situation, I don't think like because
like people who be like shooting up places, they can say, "Oh, my mom didn't love me," and blah blah blah. You can't excuse that because people go through way worse than you and still end up not hurting people.
Okay, so with the way worse situation, do you think like trauma can be rated? Like, because you know how some people be like, your trauma is valid, but it's like their trauma is like their dad forgot to buy him a BMW, and like one trauma is like.
I don't think that's valid, but like, what one person can take, other person it'll crumble. It'll like kill them. So
like, I mean, not to really ponder that story, but like your mom dying and your mom being a crackhead, do you feel like that's equal?
Some rather have their mom dead, and some people rather have them alive and to be a crackhead. So it's all like. It's like what you can take. Like, I'd rather my mom still be here even if she is a crackhead, or I'd rather my mom just be dead because like she's
abusive or whatever.
So it's all relative to the person.
Oh girl, yeah. People have been opening up about trauma, and that's also another good thing. But I feel like sometimes people like to excuse it. Like another one. Hold on. I like to think I'm a funny person. I mean, I did win class clown in 2015. But one thing I saw, it's a tweet that a lot of trolls have taken over where it's like, it basically was like, "Oh, you're funny." And then someone was like, "Thank you, it's because of my trauma."
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Some people,
because a lot of people use humor as coping mechanisms, so.
Have you been in that situation where somebody said, I don't know if I've been in that. I'm an awkward person though. So sometimes when people say certain things that are like traumatic but funny, I don't laugh.
And now it's awkward.
Yeah. Oh yeah, if I'm in an awkward situation, I'm gonna let it be awkward. I love sitting in an awkward situation.
No, I hate that.
No, I love it because I want you to know that you're not gonna see me again. No, I was sitting there. You know, some people like, no. I was sitting there like this.
You made it weird.
Yeah, yeah. I want you to know not to do it again. But like, I see stuff like that, and I'm just like, I don't know. I guess it's like a personal thing. But what about another good thing? Do you believe in? I don't know how to word this. When somebody like dump their trauma on you, I've been seeing people say that. What
I
is
have
that?
an instance where it's like two person like.
What does that mean though? Because I work in that department where people are supposed to dump their converse with me.
Yeah, that's different. But like if somebody's like, you're not mentally like some people.
But that's conversation though.
empathetic, like, so they'll take on your trauma and like,
what does that
mean? It'll really affect them.
But why would you take on my trauma?
Okay, let me tell you. Okay, I'm gonna cut this out because it's somebody else's story. I don't.
You gonna pause it?
No, I'll just cut it out. And he texted that to like the person, and they were just like, what am I supposed? Like, why would you tell me this?
So how do you take it upon it? How does that affect you?
Like, why would you burden me with that information?
How's that burden though?
Why would you tell me that?
But we're having a conversation though.
No, well, now we can't be friends, and now you like want some kind of response from me.
I don't think that's real. I don't really think that concept is real of trauma dumping.
Well,
because here's the thing.
Maybe you're
like,
strong.
No, it's
some
not that.
People aren't.
I'm pretty sure I'm friends. Especially, what about the people that were coming out accusing people of rape and you were reading it? Would you say that's trauma dumping or whatever?
No, because I can choose to like log off.
You can choose to keep this out of your mind.
No, it's already there. Like, you already burdened me with this information.
Are we back home?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't think that concept is real. I don't know because it's just like.
What would you do in that situation that I just told you about?
Not like for me, I would just be like, "Hey, yo, you a weirdo. That's it. I can't be friends with you."
You're a close friend.
We not. I mean, do you not know me? I wake up and stop talking to people
after they're like, "I have something really personal to tell you." Like,
that's weirdo vibes. Like either you're gonna go to jail, and maybe we can still converse because at least I know that you're really remorseful.
But that's what the thing I kind of figured that. He's trying to punish himself by telling people this story so they know he's like a bad person.
That's so like we're going into kinks now.
What?
That was at a kink. Why do you care if I think you're a bad person?
Because he doesn't feel like he deserves to have friends and people who think he's.
Then I'm gonna make it short for you. You don't even have to. I'm just like I said, I'll stop talking to you. I don't need.
Yeah, just dump me as a friend. Don't tell me like don't unload that onto me.
But what was my question? Was there a question asked though?
No,
like tell me you just woke up like da 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 da.
He was like, I have something like to get off my chest.
You should have said no, keep it to yourself. See, that's what I'm saying. This concept is not real.
And then, like, if he
so what if somebody that was alive from like Titanic told you how they survived? Is that trauma dumping or whatever the term is? What is the term? Trauma dumping?
It's something like that, but it's like some people aren't in the right. Yeah, it's a burden. Like you're not emotionally like.
But you're not emotionally ready for anything
like for that.
But if I wake up today, I don't know if like my patient is gonna be somebody that walks on walls.
But you work.
Okay,
like,
outside of work. Okay, outside of work, even when you work retail, JCPenney, hardly working hard. Hardly working or working hard or whatever it is. I could say that's trauma dumping. Cause now you just ruined my day.
That's not the same thing at all.
I don't get the concept.
Why are you burdening me with this? Like,
but I'm saying it's part of conversations, though. Do you know what I mean?
Trauma?
Is it trauma though?
Trauma is a part of conversations.
Yeah, conversing with somebody. Like that's how y'all become close. Like for example.
Yeah, but you have to see if that person's in the mind. What
when I came to America,
their whole family just died, and you're now telling them about your problem. Like I'm not emotionally like suited to hear that right now.
But as a close friend, I should know if your family just died.
Right? Yeah.
If I just woke up knowing that you just turned into Batman and I just said, hey, da 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 da, like that's strange. That in itself, you gotta stop talking to that person. If your family just died and they decided to talk about themselves, that person gotta go. But I feel like in conversation, when trying to get to know a person, we expect them to tell us information that basically identifies that makes them. Like it's not always gonna be, oh, today I woke up and brushed my teeth. Does
that have to be trauma? Okay, if I'm asking you to tell me about yourself, or if we're in a vibe where we're telling each other about ourselves, that's different than like.
But you have to
get
some stuff
to me. Yeah, we can't just be like happy, like we're having a day, and then all of a sudden you spring.
But I feel like there's a question. There's something that leads up to. Okay, so sometimes it might not always be trauma. Maybe we're talking about ships. Hey, you know what's about the Titanic?
It's not the same thing.
It is like
you know. I'll be like, oh.
Thank you for responding. And I was like, yeah. Do you want to hear about how I was swimming?
No, that's different than like. I had to fight a war. I got my leg chopped off. I had to kill a kid. Like,
see, maybe we talking about kids.
That's trauma. tweet about how you killed a kid?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
No, here's the thing. It's like, y'all want people to come somehow give you like a outline, like a conversation. Like, oh, this is what I'm going to talk about
how
today.
How does your regular conversation take such a hard turn?
It's not a hard turn, though. It's a hard turn for you because of how you responding. Like, right now, I like your dreadlocks. Bob Marley. Skin cancer.
You're literally just saying like random like facts. You're not talking about trauma.
That is true.
You'd be like, oh, I like your dreads. My dad had dreads and he died of skin cancer.
Yeah. That's a good conversation.
No!
Y'all have boring conversations then. I like that. When it's like,
okay, that's you.
No, you probably have the what are you doing conversations every 10 seconds. No, I want you to tell me if you survive a plane crash. I want you to tell.
Okay, maybe you're the type of person they know they can come to tell them about their surviving a plane
But I feel
crash.
like even if I wasn't myself, the idea of trauma dumping is not real. Especially if I say you're my friend. If you're like a person that just opened up a yellow book and got my number and called me and said,
just ask them, are you like mentally like.
But when did that become a thing though?
To hear this
to ask that question.
I could be like on the verge.
Okay, so if let's say you have a lawyer, right? Would you tell your lawyer that? Let's say you trying to save yourself and go, hey, lawyer, are you mentally?
That's their job.
Okay. Your friend's job is to be your friend.
You've heard so much trauma that you're just like, yeah, lay it on me. Not everybody's like that.
I think everybody should be like that, especially if you say you're a friend. Right now, if I'm sitting here and I just had a vision about my trauma, I want to tell you right now. I don't think I should say, hey, you prepared?
No.
Because you don't know what.
Because what if I just break down?
What if my trauma is my lashes? You don't know the rate. Like, if
you can't. What do you mean your lashes?
Okay, but there's no definition or like grounds on what trauma is. Like I told you, there's levels of trauma. Some people's trauma is like they were homeless. That's big. That's major. I think worldwide, that's a big trauma. Some people's trauma.
You're generalizing what trauma is.
No, I'm generalizing.
Like I was sexually assaulted while I was homeless. That's trauma.
Don't do that.
I knew you were about to like, oh my gosh. Don't say you're just a sick person.
I'm not. We got cut out.
No, we're keeping that in.
No, I hate that.
Your points are invalid because you're sick.
No, I'm not sick, yo. No. It's the house.
Stop laughing right now. Let's see.
No, because I'm talking about first. Why would you add on to my story? I mean, that's trauma burning because you added on to my story.
That's to give you an example of trauma.
So, like, worldwide, there's certain traumas that are like, okay, these are traumas. But I'm saying that there's certain traumas that really affect people. Like, what if your parent gets deported? That's a big trauma that might not be as equate to somebody being homeless, but it's a trauma.
I think if there's more details.
So right now, I want to tell you, a parent of mine got deported. I don't feel like I have to mentally prepare. It's still a trauma. I don't feel like I have to I think
you can gauge how like brutal whatever you're about to say is about to be.
But it's like that's what I'm saying. Like there is no like definition of what like everything can be traumatic for certain people. Do you know what I mean?
Like even the movie, distressing or disturbing experience.
Remember when we watched Suicide Squad, The Man and the Rat? We were that was a traumatic event for him. But like, remember we used to laugh about how he was the relationship with the rat, but then he told us the story. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But she was telling her story too, so that's why like.
But I'm saying that
environment to also tell his story.
But I'm saying like a bad relationship with a rat to me.
And she also wanted to know like why are you so like against rats? This is gonna seem so random to them if they
go watch the movie. Go watch the movie.
They're like, why are you so against rats? And then he had to give the background like, this is what happened to me.
But I'm saying like in the situation of taking that whole rat situation, right? I don't think you have to mentally prepare me to say rap. Like you don't have to trigger warn me to say rap. I feel like we're trying to take like written aesthetic of like trigger warning into like real life conversation. I definitely won't say it's not respectful. It's a respectful thing to do to warn somebody. Like, I feel like if I say you're my friend or a close friend, we say that all the time. You should be able to tell me anything. If you don't like what they say,
we're talking about the right instance and the right situation. Like we're talking about.
But why does it have to be right?
You can't just be like out for ice cream. We're having a good day.
But you keep thinking
you think
about Mary Poppins situation all the time. I don't be in Mary Poppins situations all the time.
Yeah, that's why it's fine because you have to think about it. You have to think about it in context with the situation. You can't just be like out here just doing willy nilly just like popping stuff in on people who are just like mentally they're somewhere else, they're in a happy space and you just throw this stuff on them.
Here's a situation. She keeps thinking everybody's happy. Sometimes you just be at home watching something. I feel like if you know that I'm on vacation and you text me like my grandma's on her last oxygen, I'm gonna have to call you and then call you to tell you I'm blocking you because you're disturbing my peace.
What are you talking
I'm saying you think about extreme moments of like happiness.
Nobody would do that.
But that's what you're saying.
No,
you think of Mary Poppins moments where it's like you so happy and somebody's like, my grandma's dying. No, I'm thinking of a situation where I'm just sitting here right now, regular, and you want to get something off your chest because you're a human being. Go for it. I don't think you need to be like, hey, are you?
Well, maybe you if you have a friend, you'll know what type of stuff.
A friend. There goes my secret.
You know what type. You know what kind of person, like what you know if they're super emotional person. What is this?
My point. You know the type of friend you have, so you don't have to warn them. Like I've had moments where people have called me and told me they were like the S word or whatever. It would be at 12 in the morning, whatever. I don't feel like I just have to be in a friend
just like the person I was just talking about. I think people can see you as someone they can unload their trauma onto.
Look at my face. Do I look like somebody?
Because I know I can look at my friends and I can be like, oh, Tatenda's not someone I can unload my trauma on because she'll just
laugh.
be like, yeah, she'll either laugh or, but why can't I unload my trauma? No, y'all know y'all were dead, rolling on the floor.
No, you are.
Yeah. No, Daniel. So, no.
That was because of Daniel. But I feel like if you as the person that would express your trauma or whatever, you know the type of person they are and how you can maybe predict how they're going to respond. So I don't think you need to warn them. I feel like the warning is, to me, sometimes, I don't know, like you said, maybe I've heard it all. If you warn me and you not like doing something extreme, like, I don't know, on top of the Eiffel Tower, you just text me like, my stomach hurt, I might get mad. Like, I might just get mad at your trauma. Like, it has to be an extreme if you warning me. Like, you like, there was about to start World War III, like something. I think to warn me is gonna either affect me or like you like have to be responsible of you somehow.
If you know your friend is emotionally fragile, you can be like,
are you emotionally fragile? You feel like you're the type you want to be warned? I
feel like I take on people's problems as my own. So
I couldn't care less.
Yeah. So like if they're like, I have something to like, I need to tell you something. It's a bit like hard to hear.
So
like, are you okay? Like, are you in like the right mind frame to like hear this information? And I can be like,
so when they say
no,
that,
but okay, or yes, okay.
So when they say that, how do you prepare? If you want to listen to it,
it's not about preparing. I either am or not.
So let's say you are. How does that affect your reaction?
Yeah, go ahead and.
So how does that affect your reaction though? If the trauma is still extreme, you're still gonna react the same. What was the point of the warning?
No, because sometimes like you might already be like in a bad place mentally, and they're putting this on you, and then like you're still
gonna be in a bad place.
But now you're in a deeper place. Now you're like, oh, the world is terrible. Like even my friend is going through this. Like,
so what was the point of the warning? That's what I'm saying.
So whether to determine whether I'm in the right mind space.
So that means they gotta give you a hint though. That means they be like, hey.
Yeah, all they gotta be like is this
trigger
is some,
warning.
This is some heavy information.
It's still not enough for me. Like I feel like the warning has to be.
This might be like some kind of like.
But you don't even do that because you make it up. You don't talk like that.
Cause I don't be telling people my stuff.
But like nobody does that in practice though. Because if you're my friend, I feel like such things is it like?
Let us know in the comments below if you give your friends heads up if they're about to.
Or should you? Or like if they do, how? Like, just say something. I want to know how people like take this apart.
We'll
So,
leave it there because
yeah.
we're obviously not going to reach a solution.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the dessert.
So,
you want to go first?
My dessert. Oh yeah, I think I mentioned it. I've been watching WandaVision. I think it came out earlier this year or like last year or whatever. It's actually good. Like I was shockingly surprised that English is not my first language, so whatever. I was surprised that it was actually good just because like she doesn't have a big role in the Marvel series. Like if you watch it, she's only known for like her twin dying. That's it. And like
she's like one of the most powerful,
but then like when it came for her to be powerful, she wasn't powerful.
She was too busy in love.
Yeah, with a robot, a computer.
Yeah.
Anyways,
so I have a lot of feelings about that, but
did you watch it? WandaVision? You seen it? Oh yeah, so it's actually good. I liked the first 3 episodes where it was like the whole show was going on. I wish they had carried on a little bit. I don't know. I was like intrigued by it.
I didn't like the show part. I was like, when are we gonna get into it?
No, then it got
I was like, let me fast forward. Like
no,
I was so bored.
No, I got to the 4th episode where it was like dedicated to the black lady and explaining what was going on and like the other word.
Yeah, I was waiting for them to get into the real part.
No, I got
when they
bored
were in that like I Love Lucy type thing.
I love that. And I loved it. I love that part. I wish there was more of that. I did not get
laugh track and the
and then they randomly said the girl's mom died of cancer. I said, what is going on, Disney? They gotta put trigger warning. I wasn't ready for that. I was in the Love Lucy thing, and then I don't know where that lady's from Amazon Prime. The movie, the show everybody hated. I didn't watch it either. I wanted to because I love the idea of. I don't like that.
But like someone on Twitter talked about something about a baby, and they were doing some weird stuff to like they killed a baby or something.
In WandaVision?
And them.
I didn't watch it, but I know that they had mentioned. Basically, the whole thing was based on like redlining and what happened to black people in the 60s. That's why I was like interested in watching it, but Black Twitter killed my spirit, so I never touched it. So yeah, WandaVision is my scoop. I think you should check it out, especially if you're in to Marvel movies and women power, girl power, or whatever.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
To be honest.
Yeah.
For dessert, my interest is getting a master's degree, so I don't have to look for a job for a while.
Have you started?
What?
You like looking?
Yeah.
What was your subject or interest? Business, MBA?
Honestly, I just want to do a remote, like low key type. Yeah, I did marketing, but like the whole like you need experience to do like they be talking about. I'm looking for entry level, and they're like 3 to 5 years of experience. Like when did I have that opportunity to get that?
Exactly.
But I saw this reel on. They're like, and then once you're done with your master's degree and you still feel like, I have no job prospects, get a PhD. And you just keep going. That's
why a lot of us are living in the basement.
We just get in degrees.
Yeah.
So I don't have to look for a job.
I think one of the saddest situations I ever heard, I think it was on Family Feud. It was this guy. He had like 3 degrees, like biochem. It's like all.
I see people doing minimum wage jobs. And they have degrees or stuff, that'd be making me sick. I'm like, I can't return to a minimum wage job after this degree. Like, it's either like,
what was the point? Like,
what was the suffering for?
Yeah, what was the true point? Like, I could have skipped all of this.
I could have just stayed at my minimum wage job and worked my way up for all of that. But yeah, like,
the next topic should be.
If I can't find a job, I'm gonna get a master's degree.
It's college scam.
Next topic, college is a scam. Okay, let's go into our conspiracy.
Or scams of life.
And then all the
because we could also talk about
everything under the umbrella of capitalism scam.
It's a scam.
We're gonna hop into the takeout, which is conspiracy crime, and for this one we're gonna talk about
crimes,
rising gun violence. We live in Columbus, Ohio, so like they shooting everywhere.
And I don't know if I'm gonna have much to say because I don't go anywhere. But I think back to Twitter is where I get my news. Yeah. And a lot of the shooting that's going on, unfortunately. I don't know if this like shooting or like people actually like dying every time there's a shooting, or is it just like shooting? Or
I think it's both.
It might be a little bit both. But yeah, what do you think is like the rise? What's causing this rise? I feel like there's a rise for sure. I don't think it's like.
I thought I would in crime. I think people are poor.
So
I think the pandemic has made people poor, bad mental health. So they shooting. Because you know there's like a lot more homeless people on the streets now. I feel like every corner on 161 and stuff, there's homeless people. So I feel like maybe the pandemic, or people are so like.
But those homeless people don't usually have guns though. We can't.
I'm not saying the homeless people are doing. I'm saying like, or maybe like people are we're so cooped in. Because remember when we first started to like really open up, then mass shootings. Like people.
But I don't think the mass shooters are the same people that shooting outside though.
Yeah.
So like.
But I don't know. I just feel like maybe people were itching to use their gun again.
I feel like it's for
or
me,
they haven't had human contact, so everything is an issue.
Hey, no, I feel like for me, it's really money and flexing and power. For me, I think it's money and power.
Yeah.
Is the right, because now power, having one like more than the next person can give you the greatest power, and like the most littlest insult or misjudgment of this or whatever is literally like
they want to like prove themselves. Like,
yeah, they want to prove themselves. Like and then like there's also a rise in like people being killed on camera, like on camera, like
like the IG.
Yes, I don't know if like we're losing our humanity.
Yeah, I think we're so desensitized in seeing people dying that like,
or like we just be having our phones that much in our hands. Where it's like we're even when we're dying, it's like our phones are like our last thing. I don't know.
Because like that one rapper that they shot because
Chicago he was from Chicago.
The one that disrespected Nipsey.
Nipsey, that's what they said.
I was like, I saw the video and it didn't even like. I wasn't like distraught for the rest of the day. I was just like, I'm like so desensitized to seeing people like die.
I feel like the last time I ever felt like the greatest emotion for somebody that I didn't know, especially with shooting, was like the Florida shooting, like with the kids.
Oh, the high school.
Was it Parkland? Yeah, I think after that. I didn't even like. I don't know. I think when the kindergartens and the first grader died, I was too young to like really see how powerful the government was. Like how much they could have changed that.
Affected me.
Like I saw Obama crying or whatever. But
I was like, if they don't change after this, nothing's gonna change.
I think I was too young to have that mindset. But when they did the high schoolers like that, and then I think especially with like one of them, their dad is like an artist, and like he drew his son, and like it was just like. I think because of social media, we had like in person like,
and a lot of them like came out to speak, mass groups and stuff.
Yeah, with like the parents. I think that was the last time I was like, damn, like this rise of guns is really like y'all gotta change that rights to bear arms or whatever thing. I think that's like the
and their solution is just like, well, if every kid and teacher had a gun,
a good person can have a gun. Like all you have to do is look at other countries. That's
literally.
it. Just stop talking. Look at other countries and their gun laws and like
the other countries that had one like mass shooting and then they got rid of all
Australia.
guns.
Yeah, we're so obsessed with going to war that we want to go to war in our domestic
land. The people that have like 100 guns in their basement, like why?
Where are you going? Like where are you going?
They think the government, like they think the next day is gonna be war, like
we're the same people talking about the government has weather machines and aliens here. You think you're gonna go into a shootout with
you think right
and win?
Right. If you really think the government is like doing all the things,
because it's usually the same people that have that same ideology.
They will evaporate. They know how many guns you have.
They will break into your door before you wake up.
Yeah,
like, so
they will target you first.
This idea of bearing arms being a good who determines good and bad? Like even I took physiology.
I don't know what you were about to say.
When people that study if God is real and stuff. Philosophy.
Yes.
So even I studied philosophy. How do you determine good and bad? Like who's a good guy when they both have guns? Who's the bad guy? Like that whole thing, that whole theory.
If the good guys had guns, like
you think teachers don't kill? if you answer a wrong answer and I don't feel good that day, sorry, Dad. Like,
right. Like, if I want to end it all for me and y'all been giving me a hard time the whole year.
To make it worse, y'all gave me the right to have a gun.
Yeah.
They didn't tell me when to use it. Y'all might have told me when to use it, but I'm going to change that if I feel like it. So, like, that.
And if they have, like, racial biases and a black child, like, gets up too quick, they're like, oh. And then now we were just killing kids in school.
That whole, but I think for Columbus, I've lived here so long, I honestly cannot understand the rise of it, because most people that are shooting, they do get caught. I don't know them. So it's not like a big person. Like I said, even though it's money and power, usually when they get caught, they don't look like they have money. Nor do they look like they have power. Yeah. Hyper masculinity. But why would that be the rise though? Like, but I feel like, you think
maybe because they big up themselves so much that they have to prove that, like, if someone disrespects you, you gotta, like, kill them.
Well, why is it so barbaric? Why can they dance?
What's fitness, bro? Dance battle?
What is it? Step up? We need to know. You know they try to do like the boxing thing, guns down, gloves up, or whatever. I don't know why that's.
I think people are too mad and like they need the result like that.
I think people are obsessed with being slick, but I feel like slick does not go with power.
Seeing hard,
like if you gotta shoot somebody a distance away, I feel like you don't have power. Like, y'all should really do the whole guns down, gloves up. That really shows who's and who, direct beef, direct conversation. Like, if it's definitely hyper masculine.
Masculinity.
If it's that, then I think that y'all should definitely do it the fist way, because the guns is like it doesn't solve anything.
You're not the police. Like, you're going to jail.
Like, even if it's don't, you still in the same place. It's not like y'all shoot somebody and like Mario take their powers at. You still stagnant or like whatever. Like the whole.
Did it make you more money? Like,
yeah, it's not like we're by like war where like America goes here and like enough people to kill, they take power. Da, da, da. No, you here. You shot somebody that lives probably 10 feet away from you. You still live there. Like, it does. Killing people don't take or give for real life. It just like, I feel like it affects you mentally. Even it makes you heartless, and I don't know. I think y'all should stop them. Killers. Stop.
And gun violence.
And yeah, y'all should. How do you think it will end though? The best way to end it?
It won't, because there's already too many guns.
There's already too many guns.
The government can't go door to door and pick up all your guns.
But you think it's guns though? Because I've been to London before. Them niggas was knifing each other. That's real. I feel like they're a different type of like hate and violence towards each other. You know,
yeah, that's personal.
To take a
you're not
throwing
throwing knives. You're like right there. You have to be right there.
I mean, no, not to disrespect y'all's violence, but I feel like it's so personal. You gotta make me mad for me to be like, you gotta sharpen the knife. Like, you gotta sit there and sing, chunk, put it in your pocket. Get on your horse.
Not you carrying a knife in your pocket like a gun.
And what if the person don't show up? You just he's a stainer. and like who measures?
What if they're like far away? You gotta start yelling at each other from
but
down
they don't play with their knives though. I've never seen like a regular knife. It'd be like blades and swords.
Still, like, you can't throw a knife. Like, y'all gotta get next to each other.
But so I wonder what the hype is with just killing each other. So
at least I feel like there's less collateral damage with knives.
Yeah.
Because people with guns, they don't know how to shoot. A lot of them, they just be pew 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 pew. Like, they don't go to the shooting range to practice. They just be shooting.
Yeah, you can have illegal swords, but I don't think you can have like illegal knives. But everybody here, we mostly have illegal guns. So yeah, I guess that's the worst part about this situation. Yeah. If y'all know what the rise is or what your opinion is, y'all should go ahead and also drop it in the link alongside if you think you need a warning before somebody tells you their drama.
We also we have an email account now, so we're gonna drop that in the description. And we're gonna ask y'all some questions. You want to send in your what if you need advice? We obviously qualified.
Yeah.
If you need advice, we can send it in. We can do anonymous.
I did not. Yeah.
And then we can give you advice on your situation.
I feel like. Do you think you'd be? I think I would be like the more less emotional. Like
you logical.
You're logical,
and I'll be emotional.
Yeah.
So it's a good balance.
Yeah. If you feel like. Oh God! Please, this is not going to turn into 50-50 relationship. What they bring into a table.
No, none of that. None of that.
It will be a direct. I think you should do this, da da da. And I think even with your question or whatever, maybe give us a little bit of your personality, so we know how to advise you. If you're like a softie, I'm probably not going to talk because I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. But if you're like just really,
but y'all see how our personalities are, so like, do it with your discretion.
Yeah, and if you ask a deep question, obviously you know her. Put trigger warning, please.
Oh my God.
So yeah,
that was another episode. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Again, drop a shooting star if you got this far.
Where'd you learn that from?
I don't know.
Yeah, drop a shooting star. And au revoir. Bye.